Jess Smith. We're going to have Cathal O'Brien playing a few tunes. Kevin Brennan's going to read some of his poetry. Ruan and Ruan is going to play his classic tune, Yagera. Hope you enjoy the show. See you guys later.
I want too much, and I don't think I'll ever be so. 'Cause I know for certain that everything in this life gets so. So don't keep up with the latest trends, they are just a new form of control. So you lead your own life, at least you get to keep your soul. And don't waste your lifetime trying to do what is right. We don't even know who wrote the rules. It's up to you to choose your path. You've only got the one life to lose. Literacy will become obsolete before we even know. You think we learn from the current events? Well, then you gotta check out who's made the show. Well, TV screens, they are the latest means of making us know what we know. So don't believe everything you see if you want to hold on to your soul. And don't waste your lifetime trying to do what is right. We don't even know who wrote the rules. It's up to you to choose your path. You only got the one life to lose. As a young couple sit amidst their lovers' quarrel and dying light strain through an endless grey cover. This stage passes, leaves way for another. Street lights illuminate, but shadow the mind. Now the wilder side of life you'll find. Across the road, two old men blow whistles for fun. To fund the liquor feud, bickering that we all know. Friendships decrepit, honestly. Life alone, except the bottle now is this one's fate. Happiness for him is never too hard to find. Cheap bottle whiskey, cheap bottle wine. All kinds start to appear as the light disappears. The atmosphere changes for better or worse. The feeling emerges strong, but a burden of course. Is it fear, is it love, or is it simply a curse? Posters on lampposts, chalkboards indoors, the promise of fun and cheap alcohol's the lure. With people outside waiting, the mating game is on, loosened up by liquor and livelied up by lust. The doorman fears tension, his attention is gone. Slipping by the ropes to the world still unknown. Will all kinds start to appear as the light disappears? The atmosphere changes for better or worse. And then strong, but a burden of course. Is it fear, is it love, or is it simply a curse? And all kinds start to appear as the light disappears. The atmosphere changes for better or worse. And the feeling emerges strong, but a burden of course. Is it fear, is it love, or is it simply a curse?
Hello, Rufus Coats. Welcome to Dublin's Underground Beat. Well done on your songs tonight. You absolutely nailed it. It's so amazing. Your voice is so beautiful. How long have you guys been together for? How long have you been singing together for?
A few years now. Like, was a band, like we have a full band behind us usually. That's been going about a year and a half now. But yeah, we've been having great fun around.
Me and Jess are a couple, and we've been together for about 8 or 9 years now.
Yeah.
But we've only actually sang together for about 2 or 3 years.
Very good. And is it just the two of you, or do you have like a band? Or?
Yeah, we have a full band usually, but like like, you know, smaller gigs like this, or like it was a nice night tonight where it's like, you know, it's all about words and stuff, and tonight was a nice night where students
We do
can
with
go
the
and
two of us
showcase.
go and play around a bit, just the two of us. It's easier.
Yeah. And who writes the music?
I write most of the music.
Good stuff, good stuff. Tell me more about the songs that you sang tonight.
Yeah, and the first song we played is Wasted Lifetime, which is
beautiful.
Thanks very
by the
much.
way.
Thanks very much. It's had a couple of rewrites now at this stage, music-wise, but the lyrics have always been the same. But it's a bit preachy. It's not our normal style.
Not really.
That preachy. That is.
Okay. And do you guys have like an EP out? Like, how can people get hold of your music?
We have an EP out at the moment, just released last Friday.
Oh, good stuff.
Yeah, it was. Launched it in Smock Alley Theatre. It was amazing. We sold out and everything. It was great. But you can get that on Bandcamp now. So rufuscoats.bandcamp.com.
Or come to our gigs
Or
and
come
get
to any gig and you can have it. Yeah. We've boxes of them.
Good stuff. And when are you back again playing in Dublin? Like, anytime soon?
Yeah, the 28th is the next day.
Whelan's is the next gig.
28th in
Whelan's. With a full band.
Oh, brilliant. Even better. Rufus Coats. Well done, guys. You killed it tonight. You
Thanks
really
very
did.
much. Thanks for having us.
No problem. See you again.
Meandering down the dusty path, straight lines so brighty they're a thing of the past. The sun splits the stones and the stone breaks your soul. It's one foot then the other till your next drink can hold. The sweat gathers on the cusp of your lips. Salty sensation, well, it adds to the trip. Another discomfort, another glitch. The road never ends when you're too drunk to hit. And then a man passes by you on an old style bike, a cap on his head and he's struggling for sight. He shouts, well, Macaro, what a fine day it is. The drunken gesture is the best you can give. Well, you know that it's old news for now. Well, I hope that something better comes your way. You know it's old news for now. Well, I hope that something better comes your way. Past the last landmark, an old hanging tree, respite from the sun with a cool evening breeze. You sit and you think about that journey just made, the past left behind you with all of the shame. Well, you know that it's old news for now. Well, I hope that something better comes your way. You know it's old news for now. Well, I hope that something better comes your way.
Thank you.
Neatly intolerable, I'm keen to know. I only make arrangements really. Well, any kindness entitles nothing and nothing. Yesterday, well, I don't care for anything in particular. Most people Well, come on over, won't you come on over? Well, come on over, won't you come on over? Well, come on over, won't you come on over and take that life from me.
Cheers.
Are also sauntering on with a focus on my gait for a few clumping steps unnaturally straight. O'Connell's.
Hi, Kevin. Welcome to Dublin's Underground Beat.
Thank you, Latoya.
You're welcome. We are here in the Third Space Cafe in the heart of Dublin in Smithfield. Now, Kevin, tell me, when did you start writing?
Well, writing from an early age for me was a therapeutic process. And whenever I felt down, it was good to get a pen in my hand, and it felt like an exorcism of bad feeling as the pen moved across the paper.
Yeah.
The first proper poem I wrote, I was 18.
Right.
And it was a proper poem. It was a Shakespearean sonnet, 442. And it's very, very dear to me. I still think it's one of my finer pieces ever.
Absolutely.
But ever since then, now I haven't been as productive as I would have liked to be. But poetry was something for the darker times.
Yeah.
I'm changing that now, and I'm doing it with the help of Dublin's Underground Beat.
Good
Because today I wrote a piece especially for tonight.
I can't wait to hear the piece tonight.
Well, I'm actually, I can't wait myself. I'm quite anxious as well, because there's a lot of movement in the piece.
Okay.
So I'm going to try and do it off book. In other words, I won't be reading it, I'll be reciting it. So there's, fresh, so long as I don't make a mistake or make a mess, but hopefully it'll come out great.
It will be awesome.
And I'd like to say, actually, a big well done and thank you to Johnny, because without Dublin's Underground Beat, this piece wouldn't exist. And it's a great target for me to have fresh work to bring down every week. Absolutely. And it's going to help me be more productive.
Yeah.
Because for writers, productivity is the key.
Absolutely.
And sometimes you're not as productive as you'd like to be.
Yeah. And it's so great that there's a place now, in the international on Wednesdays for all that sort of stuff that accommodates that. So
fantastic.
Yeah.
Absolutely fantastic. Credit and compliments. I cannot compliment them enough. Inspirational.
I totally agree. Tell me more about the poets that inspired you. I know you mentioned Shakespeare there. He inspired your first one.
Well, it wasn't that he inspired the first one. It's that the form. I was fresh out of school, and my English was fresh in my head, and it just happened that way. Iambic pentameter. I love the beat. This piece tonight is iambic pentameter. Also, because it's because of all the motion in it. It's going to the beat will help.
Absolutely.
With the delivery. Yeats, Joyce, all the Irish poets, all the poets that were bashed into us in school ended up influencing us in a very positive way. So the English teachers were right to force feed the likes of Yeats and Joyce to us.
Shakespeare, they did it to all of us.
And they did us a favour.
Yeah, I agree. Tell me more about your second poem that you're going to do for us tonight.
I have a piece now. If the first piece goes well,
Wish it well.
please God, if the first piece goes well, I'm going to treat myself by doing Paddy's sick note.
Okay.
Now, Paddy's sick note, I didn't write this, it's actually the words of a Dublin song. It's a lovely piece that I've always loved. I learned Paddy's sick note to actually perform at my book launch.
Okay.
And it was so busy that night, and there was so much happening, like 3 rock bands. It was a great night, but I didn't have time to squeeze it in. So I've done it a few times since at parties, but this will be my first time doing it on stage.
Okay.
Now, that's if the first one goes well.
It will go well, Kevin.
Yeah.
Why are you so hard on yourself?
Well, it's not, but this is fresh. I only wrote this today, and I'm doing it off book.
better that it's like fresh and it was only written this morning. I'm
yeah.
so excited. I can't wait to hear it.
Let's call it a premiere.
Yes, premiere, and we're going to be the first ones
Yes.
to hear it.
Right.
Now, I know you just mentioned there a book launch.
Yes.
Kevin, you have a novel here. That is some novel.
That's
How long
my
did it
baby.
take to write
This,
that? That's your baby.
I love this object. This object is so special to me.
I love the originality of the cover.
It took 10 years.
10 years?
That's 10 years of my life. And
Wow.
this is, well, it's my life's greatest achievement, I suppose.
Okay.
Would be the only way to put it.
Tell me more about it.
Well, as I mentioned, writing has always been of great therapeutic value to me, and this piece is born out of the biggest blow my life has ever taken, the death of my brother. It's a tribute to him, for Sean. That's him. He's the main character in it.
Right, okay.
And it gives me great pride and a great sense of
Absolutely.
purpose to know that in some small way, through my words, he will live forever.
Absolutely, absolutely. And where can people get your book?
Well, a variety of places. If they type Gurrier's novel into Facebook,
Okay.
They come to my page, and there's a list of stockists there. If they type the word Gurrier's into Google,
Okay.
it's one of the first entries, and there's a way to buy it online. But the much favoured way to buy this book, and the way I sell most of them, is to meet me in a pub.
Right.
I sell more
Or-
books in pubs than I do in bookshops.
Or in Dublin's Underground Beat in the International.
Absolutely.
In the basement.
Oh, absolutely.
If
Every
people
Wednesday.
would like to get hold of this book, they can get it there. Thank you so much,
Absolutely.
Kevin.
Thank you,
I'm so
Latoya.
excited about tonight. I cannot wait.
Fingers crossed.
To hear
Fingers
her.
crossed.
You're
I
gonna
hope
nail it.
I hope I don't disappoint.
No, you never do. You never have. He's amazing.
Oh, you're so
Thank
kind.
You.
Oh, you're
Cheers,
so
Kev.
kind. Thank you, Latoya. Cheers, man! Thanks very much. The familiar inner cringing at such folly to thank a bus driver when town and back costs nearly a fiver. A escorting boat from out of the blue. Do I look like a fucking junkie to you? Jesus wept, get yourself out of here. Cross Abbey Street, Lewis Lyons and Clare. I mustn't bark at those dealers, so I must dress better, walk straighter also. Sauntering on with a focus on my gait for a few clumping steps unnaturally straight. O'Connell Street now, umbrella dodging, cursing them 'cause it's barely raining. Monuments of our heroes and fast food smells, the stomach churns as the heart swells. Over the bridge across the Liffey, I scrunge in my jacket as the wind hits me, fantasizing about a roaring fire as pleading beggars turn me into a liar. The closer I get, the more I hurry. No straight back now, it's a hunched over scurry, skipping and weaving through the throngs, through temple bars, throngs. Staff brandish menus and buskers sing songs. Only a few more corners to go till I get to the place where the Guinness will flow. Tingling prospect of who might be here to share tales, jokes and insults over cold beer. Here at last I pause at the open door and let all my senses be flooded once more. I walk into the pub with a smile on my face. I will be immortal when I leave this place. Okay, this next piece isn't mine, it's actually the lyrics of a Dubliner song. But in the absence of any sort of a singing voice, I'm going to recite it. Dear sir, I write this note today to tell you of my plight. And at the time of writing, I am not a pretty sight.
Me body is all black and blue, my face a deathly grey, and I write this note to say why Paddy's not at work today. While working on the 14th floor, some bricks I had to clear. Now to throw them down from such a height is not a good idea. The foreman wasn't very pleased, him being an awkward sod, insisted that I cart them down the ladders in me hod. Now, clearing all these bricks by hand, it is so very slow, so I hoisted up a barrel and secured the rope below. But in my haste to do the job, I was too blind to see that a barrel full of building bricks is heavier than me. So when I untied the knot, the barrel fell like lead, and clinging tightly to the rope, I started up instead. I shot up like a rocket, till to my dismay I found, and halfway up I met the bloody barrel coming down. The barrel bashed my shoulder as to the ground it sped, and when I reached the top I banged the pulley with me head. I clung on tight, though numb with shock from this almighty blow, as the barrel emptied half the bricks out 14 floors below. Now, when these bricks had emptied from the barrel to the floor, I then outweighed the barrel and so started down once more. Still clinging tightly to the rope, I sped towards the ground and landed on the broken bricks that were all scattered round. I lay there groaning on the ground. I thought I passed the worst, but the barrel hit the pulley wheel and then the bottom burst. As I lay there screaming with the pain, a shower of bricks rained down on me, I hadn't got a hope. As I lay there screaming with the pain, I let go the bloody rope. The barrel then unsecured, it started down once more, and it landed right across me as I lay upon the floor. It broke 3 ribs in my left arm, and I can only say, I hope you understand why Paddy's not at work today.
Hi, here we are at Dublin's Underground Beat in the 3rd space in Smithfield in the heart of Dublin, interviewing another Dublin artist, and he's going to perform later on at the show downstairs in the International. If I can introduce Cathal O'Brien. How are you doing, John?
Good, thank you very much.
Great, it's nice to have you here on the show, and really looking forward to your performance later on. Just to ask you a few questions about yourself. I mean, you're a resident of Dublin now, but you were away for a while there.
I was away for 12, 13 years in the States, yeah, San Francisco, New York.
That's amazing.
Yeah,
what made you decide to go over to America?
I left and I landed and I just stayed there, you know.
Really?
You meet people, I met a girl, that kind of stuff, and just
the old classic.
The old classic, yeah. You stay there and you work and you just, years go by, you know.
Yeah.
And then during that time, I got I have it all together where I can come back and travel and stuff like that. But yeah, I've been lucky like that.
And were you playing music over there the whole time? I know you worked in traditional music, but you've done different types.
Yeah, I was playing music the whole time with friends, and then I got into a traditional Irish band, which was great because we'd actually make some money and stuff like that.
Brilliant.
And then it was a couple of years, and I just got out of it. I didn't find it very creatively fulfilling, because we're doing, you do covers and stuff like that, and I was playing guitar, and it was great fun, but it wasn't filling that need,
Whereabouts were you exactly in America?
San Francisco, where that was going on. Beautiful city, wonderful.
And so, I mean, all of this time you were playing, were you working on your own material as well?
Always, yeah. Always writing and recording, on a home computer or 4 tracks, whatever,
Yeah, I know them. Do you think you got any kind of influences from San Fran?
Yeah, well, yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's mentioned on the records a few times, and it was. I guess my songs are kind of stories, so it's definitely in there,
Yeah.
If it's underlined or I don't know, but.
Acid Week, you're going to play that tune, I think.
I am the title track from that record, the latest one. Yeah.
Okay, we're going to hear one of his tracks now, Acid Week.
I'm going to do a song off my latest release, which are some up here, and we take money, booze, or compliments. So. Up to you guys. Say you're all distracted by the billboards way up, and there's too many people in your head today. You can't spin the whole way around, and so you wrestle with the midget foot and lousy bugs. Pin him down, you say good luck the next time. I can feel his pride dying. Come on, winter, get your colors right. You're tricking me into going outside of a light shirt. And I freeze and leave my body to religion and to science too. We all know that you have no clue as to where we go. You go left at the second light. Halfway down you'll see the blue door. We're above the liquor store. It's not what I remember most. It's not the Cairo towel. It's not the falling walls. It's how sweet you were on acid. We gotta take it easy. Let it pass. You must breathe my love. Your heart, it beats so fastly. We are losing our daughters of Zeus. They turn around, they turn themselves on you. And there's cold, chill visions down the mission, and then more besides. Feel a cigarette smoke inside the lungs, and before it comes back in out from the fire escape, and everything requires a double take, as if it's all, this is all, it's all fake. It's not what I remember most. It's not the Cairo towels. It's not the falling walls. It's how sweet you were on acid. How sweet you were on acid. How sweet you were on acid.
Okay, welcome back. That was Acid Weeks from John Cahill O'Brien. Absolutely brilliant song, man.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Really nice vibe. Where did you record this?
We recorded in Brooklyn, actually, in a place called Dumbo, which is down under Manhattan Bridge.
Cool.
Yeah, so it was really nice. I was lucky enough to hook up with Rusty Santos, who's worked with some notable artists, probably not so much on this side of the Atlantic, but yeah, me and him, we sat in a room for a couple of weeks, and this was what the
Can
result.
I say it's got a bit of a Van Gogh kind of portraiture to it there.
Yeah.
It's very, very nice, striking.
That
image.
cover came about kind of accident, but I'm okay with it now. you know?
Yeah, definitely. I hear a bit of, is there a bit of Leonard Cohen and Nick Drake kind of influences going on in this work?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, there's two people I would have listened to a lot when I growing up, you know.
Yeah.
Even just secretly, even I would have them on, you know. 'Cause
Really?
you know yourself, I mean, Dublin was such a dance city, etc.,
Absolutely.
you know. And I was like,
Same time. We were hiding.
Secretly playing, you know, our folk music. But yeah, I mean, Leonard Cohen, you know, he's amazing. So is Nick Drake, and I would, yeah, it's a real.
What would you say you'd bring from their styles, if I can ask it, into your own kind of style? Or you know what I mean?
Yeah, how do I incorporate? I don't know. I mean, for me, it's they're untouchable. So I would never say I could take anything, really. You know what I mean?
Wow.
You know, so it's
There's a flavour.
I would never put myself there. Yeah, but I mean, obviously, you know, I listened a lot, and as I was listening young, I guess you absorb more than you know, the styles and.
Do you think, being Irish, that you add an influence? Like, I mean, I suppose if you take influence from them, what do you think you bring to that? I mean, in your own style, what is it you add?
I guess from listening to them, I know it's okay, you know, to write about very personal stuff.
Exactly, okay.
You know, about, you know, certain moods, depressive, ups, downs, you know, whatever, relationships, and I think their influence would be like, yeah, you can write about this is okay, you know, you can be honest, you can put your heart down on the page, you know, and so from that point of view, I'd cite them as an influence of you know.
I'll have to say, really excited about having you on Dublin.
Yeah, well, thanks for having me.
It's a complete pleasure, and thanks a lot.
Thank you,
Good to
Johnny.
talk to
Yeah.
you. And we're going to cut off and listen to a song called Let It Go by Cathal O'Brien. And see you guys later.
Click.
Take your...
Thank you, sir. I always forget something. There's another one with the same record, it's called Let It Go.
Just ignore it, and you and me, the same
used to hate her, telling and retelling it to peers and new or potential girlfriends, verbatim. Pretending to be shrewd and versatile, I gave up doing crosswords for a while, but never faced her with an ultimatum.
Okay. Hello, Sean.
Hi,
Ruan.
Latoya.
Welcome to Dublin's Underground Beat.
Thank you.
Please tell me about your poems tonight that you have prepared for us.
Well, I suppose.
Tell me a bit more about them, like the first one that you did.
Yeah. Well, I suppose they range in tone and theme and subject matter.
Okay.
They tend to be quite formal when you see them on the page.
Right.
So it's quite difficult to choose the ones that work in an atmosphere like the bar. As you see down here, you have to have ones that are crowd pleasers rather than. So you might choose shorter,
Okay.
more effective, maybe more humorous ones.
Right.
Whereas
right.
most of the stuff I write would tend to be more serious than what I actually do down here.
Okay.
The first one I did, I can barely remember at this stage. I did about 6. I think I started off with a sonnet that was critical of a friend of mine, and I did a haiku and then another sonnet and a few other pieces.
Okay.
You can even hear as I'm talking technically
Yes,
about
you
the
are.
formal aspects
I
of
was just
it.
about to ask you, like, what sort of people would attract that sort of
People with real taste in poetry,
people with real taste in
are
poetry?
attracted to my
people
work.
that would know.
People know how good it is, yeah.
That's
those kind
right.
of people.
Yes.
Like yourself, Latoya, and a good cameraman here.
You're very technical, which is really, really good. But tell me more about like the stuff that you did tonight. You know, like that would appeal to the masses.
The vast unwashed. I don't know. Like as I say, poetry is regarded maybe like ballet. It's regarded as something that people don't like and that can't be any fun. And what's great about these kind of nights in the International Bar is people see that it can be the kind of thing that gives people a good night out, especially when it's interspersed with music, as I think one of your other interviewers said. It's that mix of song and poetry that really works for a good night out.
Absolutely, I totally agree. Like, and it's such a great night down there, and we're all thankful for Johnny for having this night's Dublin's Underground Beat, and hoping to see you soon again.
Thank you very much.
And was it your first night tonight?
No, I've done dozens of these, but
downstairs.
the nerves never get less.
It always feels like it's the first time, doesn't it?
And the audience is very hard to gauge, because often I find audiences come expecting very serious, very deep poems, whereas I tend to pitch it a little bit lighter in most cases.
Yeah.
So one never knows, and that's part of the whole. That's part of the most difficult part of it for me. I want my poems out there, but it's frustrating that one of the ways nowadays you have to do that is not really by publishing, but by performing.
True.
I'm not a natural performer. And,
I would not say that. I'd say you're a great performer. Thank you so much, Sean.
Thank you very much, Latoya.
And looking forward to seeing you again.
Thank you very much.
Cheers.
Okay.
Thank you.
Bip, bip, toot, toot. Thank you.
I think we should do that again.
Let's start with a poem I wrote about a friend of mine, a very close friend. When I told him I was writing about him, he was moved almost to tears, and he told his family and his friends. But then when he eventually heard the finished piece, he was upset. I don't really know if it was fair of him to be upset, but I'm going to do the poem here for you anyway. The poem is called Asshole. Although I did agree that I would, whenever performing it live, change the title. So this is Sonnet for an Asshole. Or Fence Post. In time, we came to scorn as a real eyesore what had seemed quaint and charming at first glance. The fence posts, overgrowth of hostile plants that blocked the risen sun from our double doors. So I crouched and reached and leant to slash and hack and hew the dog rose, spear thistle, knotweed, ivy and spurges, till the creosoted post stood freed and proud and independent, then collapsed. Before you urge that cynical acquaintance, whose traits you have for some time now detested, to cut wild habits and to see the light, take pause. Such strangling, barbed and poisonous supports may help maintain a fellow's upright stance when all within is crumbling and infested. The weather is cold outside. I think it's nice to be in the basement of the International Bar, the only place in Dublin which is colder inside than outside. And I've tried in these frigid times to invent a new form. I call it the Irish haiku. It's a 17-syllable coughing and sneezing fit. Until I finish that, I'll treat you to the more traditional version. This is called After the Tryst. Footprints at dawn in a frost-worked field, italics on a page of prose. Never in the history of human conflict have so few words produced so much applause from so many people. My third poem I'd like to dedicate to Johnny McGlinn, or McGroin as I'm going to pronounce his name. I'm Sean Ruan. There's a short video of me, YouTube Poetry Live, Sean Ruan, if you want to check it out. This is for Johnny. Many thanks for putting on an evening like this. My third poem tonight is based on a shocking event that happened when I was around 20 years of age. And it's, I suppose you can say it's had a devastating effect on my life. It changed our telephone number from 6 digits to 7. I don't think I ever got over it, really. And I wrote this poem. It's more of a lament, I suppose. This poem is called 255-242. 255-242. A balanced phrase, synonymous with home and days of perfect length, an unencumbered sound estate. This easily remembered line of poetry, hidden in a huge tome, could spell me back from rusting spoke-filled hallways to the oak desk and the cast iron chair, evoke my name for old friends anywhere. Its incantation was auspicious, always. 255-242. But even while the apparatus slumbered, the bands were read, robotically intoned by electronic clerics of the telephone, announcing that its days as a single entity were numbered. Soon it must stand, preceded by an 8. I took it badly, I admit. How strange that loss is often preferable to change, that love's less blind than unrequited hate. 8, 25, 52, 42. My palindrome, my beautiful caesura, and the dactyl swallowing anapist. All of its poetry ceased to exist with the lumbering arrival of that hulking and primordial figure. As when you met your childhood sweetheart with her new fiancé, and her voice had that syncopated rhythm. Engaged, she said, do ring. But now you can't get through on 255-242 without that fucking cipher in the way. And yet, you're still reluctant to leave it. Some people take their phone numbers with them when they move house. I can well believe it.
such an evil. He realized something life for his people. La da 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 da. One need not understand the little CIA, some truth about the play. If in a lot of pay, irrigation from the sand for his and foreign land. Some said crazy, some said quite a man. He was a loner, a rocking soldier with beady eyes and a weight upon his shoulder. They're kicking up a big storm the size of his home. In the sky, have you heard about his Buckingham? La da 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 African soldier, when you were older, did you get greedy? What weight was on your shoulder? I heard your father died before he was housed. And Mandela, I heard you helped him out. I saw the even port, Al Qaeda's flag above open Gaza's courthouse. Yeah, turn the light on, just turn the light on. You know everyone is alright, and turn the light on. Thanks very much.
Ryan O'Halloran!
Absolutely amazing.